Welcome to the yet another session of clinical scenarios, and this is your case number 15. Here we have a 65-year-old female who is complaining of seeing a sudden burst of flashing lights. Do you know what is this sudden burst of flashing lights? This is actually photopsia. So patient is complaining of photopsia along with the blurred vision in her left eye. So in one eye she is having photopsia and blurring of vision. These symptoms started this morning, so it's very sudden. It's a acute onset or the sudden onset. She is also seeing small spots in her field of vision. What are these small spots? Small spots means that she is also seeing the floaters. So there is some pathology in her left eye which is acute onset and also leading to photopsia and floaters. Now let us see. She felt like a curtain coming down over her eye. Curtain coming out, curtain like effect is also there. She had a successful cataract extraction 4 months ago. Her vitals are stable. Examination shows a sluggish left pupil. Ophthalmoscopy shows a retinal tear with the grayish appearing retina. What is the most probable diagnosis? Your options are choroidal rupture, retinal detachment, CRAO and PDR, proliferative diabetic retinopathy. Now, how to approach such question? See, here we have typically the history of successful cataract extraction 4 months ago. So, basically this can be something which is related to the late post-operative complication. Now, if you go through the late post-operative complications of the cataract surgery, what can be these complications? So, the number one which is most common is the PCO, that is your posterior capsular opacification or the after cataract. This is also called as secondary cataract of the or the after cataract, but this will be having the gradual onset. This will not be having the acute onset, so this cannot be there because the patient is having the acute onset. Number 2, there can also be cystoid macular edema. Cystoid macular edema is again a common late post-operative complication which is called as the Irwin-Gass syndrome. This is known as the Irwin-Gass syndrome. Irwin and Gass were the two scientists who discovered that there can be cystoid macular edema, especially in the patients who are having the pseudophakia. Then number 3, we can also have the vitreous touch syndrome. The vitreous touch syndrome. Now, this vitreous touch syndrome must be having some history of problem during the cataract surgery. There must be having some vitreous loss during the cataract surgery, and this vitreous loss actually leads to the bullous keratopathy. This leads to the bullous keratopathy. So, we are not having any history of this vitreous loss, plus these things will be again leading to the sudden diminution of vision. Okay, but there will be some associated symptoms also. You will not have the grayish reflex that you are having. You will not have the curtain like effect that you are having. Okay, then what are the other things that you can have as a late post-operative complication? And one important thing is retinal detachment. Retinal detachment can also be there as a late post-operative complication, and if you see what are the things that can happen due to this RD. Now, this is again leading to sudden painless diminution of vision as we are having in this case, and you can also see a retinal tear. So definitely this retinal tear has actually led to the RRD. And if you see what are the risk factors, what are the risk factors of the RRD? I always tell you this in classes that the risk factors of the RRD are very, very important. So what are the risk factors of the RRD? We can have the elderly age. Elderly age is given in this question. Then it's more common in males. Then it can be due to trauma, right? Then it can be due to the aphakia, or it can be due to the pseudophakia. So here we have a patient who is having pseudophakia due to the cataract surgery. This is there, this is also there, this is also there, right? Then it can be due to high myopia, and it is also common in those people who are having the retinal hole. Now this cataract surgery maybe has led to the retinal hole, or he was having the retinal hole from before, has actually led to the rhegmatogenous kind of retinal detachment. Now what are the signs and symptoms you are going to get? You will be having the sudden painless diminution of vision, right? And two very, very characteristic things will be the photopsia and floaters. Photopsia and floaters will be two very, very typical things that you are going to have. Why actually? Because you know, retinal hole leads to the vitreoretinal traction. We can have the vitreoretinal traction, and this traction can actually lead to the photopsia and floaters, flashes of light in front of the eye and the black spots in front of the eye. So this is very, very exclusively you are getting in RRD. If you are talking about other retinal detachments like exudative, you are not going to get them. In tractional RD, again you can have some amount of the photopsia but not the floaters. Then a typical thing that has been mentioned here is the curtain like effect. So curtain like effect is again the one thing that you are going to get in retinal detachment, because what happens, the patient feels that he is having, okay, so he experiences that this retina is getting detached. So when this retina is getting detached, he feels as if a curtain is falling in front of the eye. Very, very typical of retinal detachment. And above all, the reflex that you are going to get is the grayish reflex. You will not get the typical red reflex that you get in the patients, normal patients. You are having a grayish reflex. Now if you see the different options that have been given to you, if I talk about the choroidal rupture, so in the choroidal rupture, first of all, it is not a known complication after the cataract surgery. Second thing, this choroidal rupture will not lead to the photopsia which has been given, okay, and this will not relate with the retinal tear. This will not give you the grayish appearance. Rather, choroidal rupture will be leading to the choroidal folds. You are able to see the folds in the choroid, and this choroidal rupture is not common after the cataract surgery. You can see this in the patients of the high myopia. If you remember, in the patients of high myopia, we can have the Foster-Fuchs spots and the Lecker cracks. In the high myopia, what do you get? In the high myopia, we get two things. One is your Foster-Fuchs spots, and another thing that we get is your Lecker cracks and the Lecker cracks. So it is the Foster-Fuchs spots and the Lecker cracks, that is the breaks in the choroidal membrane that you are going to get, not after the cataract surgery. So this is unlikely. If you see the CRAO, central retinal arteriolar occlusion, now this can lead to the sudden painless diminution of vision, but the CRAO will actually lead to the cherry red spot. You will get the typical cherry red spot. You are not going to get the photopsia or the floaters, you are not going to get. Plus CRAO is again not a known complication after the cataract surgery. You will not get a grayish reflex, you will not get a curtain like effect. So very unlikely that this is a case of CRAO. Then is the PDR. Now PDR, first of all, they are not giving you any history of diabetes. If the patient has PDR, the PDR will always occur from NPDR. So first there will be NPDR, then there will be PDR, and this NPDR or the PDR which are occurring, okay, they require at least, this is the minimum, at least 10 years of the diabetes, because you know duration is the most important factor in the occurrence of the diabetic retinopathy. So you are not having any history of diabetes, then they are not giving you the signs and symptoms suggested. Like if I am talking about the NPDR, I should have the microaneurysms, the dot and blot hemorrhages, I should have the hard exudates, or I should be having the IRMA. If I am talking about the PDR, then this is very typical to cause the sudden diminution of vision. This can also cause sudden diminution of vision. This will also cause the painless diminution of vision, but this will lead to the neovascularization. So we are not having any neovascularization here. Okay, we are not having any evidence of the hemorrhages. There will be no curtain like effect, there will be no grayish reflex, there will be no photopsia or the floaters. So that means it is not a case of the PDR also. So what is left there? You are there very typically with the retinal detachment. So basically this is a case of the retinal detachment. 65-year female, she has gone under the cataract surgery, but there was a retinal tear which has been maybe precipitated by this cataract surgery, and therefore she is typically having photopsia, floaters, grayish reflex and the curtain like effect. So your most probable diagnosis will be retinal detachment, and if they ask you what kind of retinal detachment, your answer will be rhegmatogenous retinal detachment. In case of any doubt, you people can always ping me up at any of my social media platforms. You can always ask your doubts. You can also send me your queries, and also do let me know what are the other things that you want me to discuss, because I want to help you in every possible way so that you can come out with the best of the ophthalmology. Thank you. Happy ophthalmology.